because I think I created like with the mistakes
Weird.
that I made.
All right.
Yeah. What up?
You know,
Yeah.
I created.
Well,
Well, we almost didn't make it, Mark.
I know, right? Shit,
Man.
It's not me.
shit get goofy sometimes, and right now,
When I was young,
being goofy about playing the music, like what the fuck is going on?
Yo, they said AI is gonna take over the world, over the human race, Mark. I think some of the folks I work with talking about that Skynet shit.
Yeah.
Hey, this is how they start first. They shut down everybody's podcast.
Apparently.
Apparently. Yeah. Shout out to Don Tripp.
You represent soldiers, and they can't stand you. Why? Cause you not Oprah. And you got tattoos, your hair corn rolled up, and they like, oh my. And you like, so what? The world is cool, but one thing it showed us, whatever don't kill us only makes
Yo.
us more tough.
Anyway, what's going on, man? Look, this shit is mad loud. Why is it so loud?
That was me. That was me. I turned it up earlier when I was trying to let you listen
All
to
of
it.
these people in the world like this.
I'll turn it back down. I got it.
Well, I didn't want to be that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to
There we go.
That's crazy because the music on my end is 10, and that shit is hella loud. But
Yeah, like 10 usually ain't that loud. That's why I put it to 10. But nah.
anyway, look, man, let's just get into this shit. It's enough of the practice. I'm just ready to do this, man.
Let's get it, man. Sorry if you see me looking down. I'm just putting the posting the everything to social media now. But go ahead, man. I'm here.
Yeah, man. So listen, where the fuck is it? Where is the joint that I usually play? Here we
It's
go.
in there. It's right there, the third one. You see it?
Here we
All
go.
right, be there. Sorry, Mark. I just gotta say this. I know we mentioned this a few times, bro. Look at the title of it, bro. Look at the title of it. That's why you couldn't find it.
Freestyle type beats, ups and
Freestyle
downs.
type beat. Ups. I free. Freestyle type beat. I rap, trap, instrumental.
Or he could just say, I stole it.
Yeah, like
I stole this shit.
you can put whatever shit you can put whatever title you want to it, Mark.
I stole
You
this
know
shit
what
from
happened
Chingy or whoever the fuck made this shit.
Yeah, man.
Chingy Young Bird, one of them.
It's Chingy, and what's his name?
You know, I used to get Chingy and Young Bird mixed up.
That's crazy. Because that's crazy to me only because, like, forget the looks, forget the differences in the music. Like, I respect Young Berg. I don't respect Chingy as an artist. Let me be very clear about that. I do not respect Young Berg as a person.
Yeah. Hold up. Is this nigga Tobias dissing? Is this nigga Tobias dissing?
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy coming from Tobias, boy. Hey, Tobias wear an 8.5 in a new era of fitted, so I don't understand why you talking about
exactly. Like, I don't know what is he talking
That's
about.
crazy,
bro.
man. Hey, but Tobias said you got a big ass head. That means something, Mark. That means
Hey, man.
that's
Tobias lost all that weight and still somehow is 250.
Hey, man, Buddy got the Al Roker going on. That man, he lost weight everywhere except for his head, man.
Yo, his head is carrying at least 20 pounds. He got to
Oh,
relax.
that mother got a watermelon jug up top, man. That's crazy.
He
Like,
gotta-
you know what? That's wild. That's like me calling somebody black as hell. That's crazy. Like, I don't even know why you stepped in here saying that, man. That's wild.
But nah, man. Look, man, I'm glad y'all are here, especially y'all, because listen, I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it later too, as more people come in. we're gonna be live on draft night. So Thursday night we're gonna be live, and one of the things that we're gonna do on draft night is we're gonna have a drinking game. Like, so we're going to figure out like what things will cause us to drink on Thursday night, but we're going to build a drinking game together tonight when we get to that draft conversation. So
what up, Rob?
So Thursday night, come join us. We're going to do a drinking game throughout the draft. What up, everybody that just stepped in? Like I said, Thursday night we're going to be live. Hopefully, we can link up with the boys from Live from the Bench. I've been in contact with them. They got a nice podcast going on, and hopefully, we can link up with them and go back and forth in between each other's podcasts, and do a nice little drinking game together on Thursday night throughout the draft. Like I said, we'll be live. And you guys can help us build that shit. Yeah. Hey, look, man. It don't have to just be shots. You could just take you could have a nice little Corona or a Coronita for you sensitive types, and you can like take a sip of the Coronita every time it's time to drink. You know what I mean?
Look, man, you see me going through my mic problems here. The video keep flashing and out. Bro, I'm glad it got working at the right time because, man, that's not how drinking games work. That's not how drinking games work, Tobias. I'm a join, but I got a 3-shot limit? That's wildness, man. Either you win or you out, buddy.
Yo,
I don't know what's going on with Tobias today, Mark. What's happening with
him? Like I said, you can go ahead and join. You said Coronita. Don't cuss me out like that.
That's funny. What's that French part of Compton you claiming? Hey, look.
But listen, you know what I'm saying? You can have your nice little joint and just take a sip of that. It don't have to be shots every time for you sensitive types. But
real quick, I got to bring up this comment because I can't let this pass by. Said forget shots. Pat's draft Drake me. I'm drinking the whole damn bottle. Hey, I can't even be mad at you for that. Like, this is crazy. You know they're saying that he's fallen down the draft boards because they feel like he doesn't do well in high pressure situations. And I was like, yo, how would you know? He played in North Carolina. That's crazy. If you can't withstand the pressure of playing QB in North Carolina, then I don't know what you're gonna do in the NFL. Like, I'm glad that teams are coming to their senses, but right now the rumor is that the Pats ain't gonna draft Drake May, and if they don't, then they might trade out of their pick. Shout out to CT ESPN, ran by Antonio Brown. They ain't miss yet, so I'm gonna take it as gospel.
Hey, that boy don't miss.
Hey, they ain't missed yet, so I'm gonna take it as gospel. If he said the Patriots ain't drafting him, they not drafting him.
Hey, he not all up there, but he's sharp.
Yeah. He's sharp when it comes to the nonsense, man. I tell you.
He ain't all the way up there, but he's sharp at the same time.
The elevator don't go to the top floor.
Nah, it really don't. Not no more. Yeah. Perfect went in the elevator and disabled that bitch.
Yeah, that's funny.
he kicked the button. He kicked all the top buttons. He kicked
it's a 20-story building. Why his numbers only go up to 15? They ain't even got all the buttons in the elevator, man. That's crazy. But yeah.
But man. Yeah. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get into this shit, bro. All right. Look, a lot of things happened this past week, and we're going to go ahead and get to talking about all of it. So straight up, let's just go ahead and start off. Sean wanted to start off with the shenanigans in here. So here we go, man. He wanted to talk about the Allen Iverson statue. What's your problem with the Allen Iverson statue, Sean? Help me
understand. Look. I'll be honest with you, man. When I think of a statue of a legendary player, especially one of the more legendary players for a franchise, and let's be honest, he's not the most. Despite what other people might say, he's not the most legendary player to play for the Sixers organization. But he's up in that conversation.
I would say he's the most infamous.
That might be true, but when we talk about the greats of the Sixers organization, there's guys that have to go ahead of him. Obviously, the most notable is Dr. J. But the point is, think of statues. I think of the Kobe statue. I think of the Shaq statue. You know what I'm saying? I think of the Dirk statue. I think of these statues, and then when I think Allen Iverson and let's not forget what he did on the court, but let's include why he's such an iconic figure in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just everything that he did on the court, it's the way he moved off the court, it's the way he moved throughout life. You know what I'm saying? It resonated within the city, man. So I would think somebody that meant that much to the culture of basketball in general, and somebody that immediately became a part of the culture within Philadelphia, you would think that they would have a Dirk-like statue or a Kobe-like statue. And from what I've seen, I'm not going to disrespect them. I'm not going to say it was a Sean Taylor statue, but it gave me a little bit of, okay, he got a little statue outside of the practice facility and not the main arena. So, like, the location of it bothered me a little bit, but I understand, hey, look, it's the practice facility. Everybody knows the famous quote. We talk about practice, so I did get that. But at the same time, I felt like he should have had either a bigger statue or a statue outside of the arena that they play in and not the practice facility. So let me hear your thoughts on that, Mark.
Hold on, man. Give me 1 second.
Oh, go ahead, man. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's how I felt about it. I'm sure I'm not the only person that felt that way about it. So I'm sure it's not just. I don't know how. I'm not going to speak for Sixers fans, but I'm going to assure you that anybody that was an Allen Iverson fan outside of being a Sixers fan, anybody that was outside of that Sixers fan base that was an Allen Iverson fan, felt like he should have a large statue outside of the arena.
All right. Now I'm going to talk about it. This is the statue that Sean is referring to right here in the background. As you can see, the statue is barely as tall as Allen Iverson himself, because that's Allen Iverson there in the blue and red jacket. So that means the statue is 6 foot, about a 6 foot tall statue. And like he said, Sean said, it's outside of the practice arena. There's multiple reasons why that is, why things are the way they are with this statue.
That's it. We're not putting that comment up on the board, are we? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna put. All right, look, Rob. Tobias says that he said, hold on. People got jokes. Tobias said, I hope nothing but misery for Philly. They got a statue for Rocky Balboa that Sundowner doesn't even exist. Fuck Philly. And then next one is, that's a trophy. That ain't no statue. All right.
Yeah. So that's So
all right.
Yeah.
So
the people have spoken, Mark.
All right. I hear you guys, and I have answers for all of it. All right. So listen. First of all, Sean, the reason why it's outside of the practice facility and not outside the actual arena is because the Sixers don't own the Wells Fargo Center.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Wells Fargo Center is owned by the banks, and the Flyers and the Sixers just kind of rent out of there. Like they both play in that arena, but they kind of rent out of there. And so that's why it can't be a permanent place there, because it's not owned by them.
Real quick, for those that don't understand what we're talking about, is there was a lot of legal red tape that they would have to go through just to get the statue out there. And on top of that, they would have to have the blessings of, Wells Fargo and whoever else owns the arena. Like, they would have to jump through hoops essentially to get that done.
All right, and so
Go ahead.
Okay, that was number one. Number two, the size of the statue. You can't see the rest of them, but the Sixers have a statue of a lot of the past Sixers greats, and they're all that size. Like it's basically a pathway statue. Like, you walk down the sidewalk, and it's a pathway of like multiple statues, all that size, of former Sixers greats. You know what I mean? So like, Allen Iverson is just the latest one to be added to it. So basically it's uniformity. So that's part two. Now, part three, Rocky Balboa statue. That was a movie prop. Philadelphia had nothing to do with that. That was a prop made for the Rocky movie.
Why is it still there, Mark?
Because after the movie, they just donated it to the city. Like, they gave it to the city. Like, here, like, we don't have nothing to do with this, like, anymore. Like, here, and mind you, the very first thing, like back in '78 when the first Rocky came out, that put Philadelphia on like the radar for people wanting to do certain shit here. Like, people want to come here and run up the art museum steps. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they want to do certain shit.
It opened the door for there to be a high level of tourism.
Yeah, for certain levels of tourism. So, like, the city of Philadelphia, they like, or at least the mayor and shit, they wanted that there. But guess what? Where it is, like the art museum hates that statue. The art museum hates that effing statue, bro. They got that statue. They had that statue. It used to be at the top of the art museum steps, like, like where Rocky ran up the steps. It used to be at the top, where like where they first showed it in the movie. Like, it used to be up there. The art museum had that drum removed from up there, and then it used to be at the Spectrum. Like, it used to just be sitting in front of the Spectrum, which is where the Sixers played, and it was always weird. Like, all right, like, why is it here? And then they moved it back to the art museum, and it was back at the top of the steps. But now it's just off to the side. Like, it's off to the side and shit, and like, people go taking pictures in front of it by the art museum. But like, the art museum itself hates that statue, which is actually really funny. So like, you can't put the statue on Philadelphia neither. We didn't make it. It's a movie prop.
You know what, Mark? I'm gonna give you that one, because here in Albuquerque, obviously Breaking Bad was filmed at various locations in New Mexico, but mainly is, the show takes place in Albuquerque. And I think they filmed like in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, which Santa Fe is like an hour away from Albuquerque. But either way, everybody knows of the house that they lived in. So the people that rented out the house to the studio on the days where they would film, you got that stupid scene where they throw the pizza up on top of the house.
Yeah, I heard about people throwing pizzas on top of that house, and like, somebody owns that house or whatever.
Yeah, like, those people lived in the house. They loaned it, like, they rented it out, so the studio would put them up in a hotel, in a nice hotel downtown, for the days that they would film there. And they would literally, so like, the furniture in the house and everything, that's those people's real furniture. Like, they didn't change anything about it. They just say, yeah, we're gonna film in your crib. And then now you got people, like, as soon as the joint is done, people is up there throwing, they said every day they would have to have anywhere between like 25 to 30 pizzas removed from the roof of their house every single day after the show, after the show aired, right? But besides that, the other part that everybody remembers is the death of Walter White. And then they had the tombstone and stuff at the graveyard. they kept this tombstone there, Mark, after the show was done.
Right.
And then now it turned into a tourist thing because they have a Breaking Bad trailer. It's literally a replica of the trailer from the show. Right. They drive around and take you to all the film locations. Last stop is the graveyard. And what people did was they figured out where the graveyard was and say, forget the tour, we just gonna pull up. So then every day you got people over there trying to grieve their loved ones, and you got like hundreds of people up there taking pictures, doing dumb things in front of the tombstone for Walter White, man. They had to have it removed at some point because obviously it's a graveyard and it's kind of disrespectful what was happening. But so I mean, let's be honest, if it wasn't for it being an actual graveyard, Mark, that thing would still be there. So I can see the city saying, look, this statue ain't going nowhere of Rocky Balboa. It's going to be here for a while. And if people want to come here, spend extra money, and come visit the city to bring in revenue, then guess what? That statue going to be here until it falls apart. And then we're just going to rebuild it. So yeah, I mean, we had, like I said, here in Albuquerque, they had the tombstone that they would have kept here forever if it wasn't for families trying to sue the city.
Yeah,
for what was happening.
Another thing is, like that's just like with the Joker shit, those steps in Harlem or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Like people just constantly like dancing up and down the steps and thinking they like people live in those buildings. Like, bro.
Yeah, like it's real life out here, man.
Like, don't get shot out here. You thinking you fucking Joaquin Phoenix and shit. Like, relax.
Yeah, it's wild how that works, man.
Yeah, but anyway, man, we getting back, but that's the little bit about the quote unquote Sixer statue. Like, it ain't all that, man. Like, I don't know why you feel the need to go in like that, friend. But anyway, there's some topics that seem to be missing, man. From there, next John that I wanted to talk about, what? Oh, it's like steps in Washington D.C. where the priest was from. Okay.
Oh yeah. That's been a thing for a long time in D.C., man.
Mm-hmm.
Been a thing for a very long time, man. And people really live around the corner, and they got to go up and down those stairs, and it's a narrow staircase, bro. And people just be on there.
Yeah. Troy tapped in. He said he out for his D-Day. I'm gonna for sure watch the replay. Okay, I feel you. Happy birthday, my boy. But anyway, next thing is these NBA playoffs, man. We're here now. It's late April. Everybody got game 1 in the books. Few teams got game 2 in the books. And there was some game 2 shenanigans going on. And one of the game 2 shenanigans that was going on was the fact that we had the Lakers. Lakers had a 20-point lead against Denver, right, and they blew it. Jamal Murray with the dagger shot at the end. Great photo. You got Anthony Davis reaching out, looking like Paul George. And it just wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, unlike Paul George, Anthony Davis can't say that's not a good shot. Like, selection. That was a good shot selection. You know what I mean? Like, yes, and I'm glad Rob says this. He says, I'm tired of every star player looking at the rest for every little thing, man. And I appreciate you saying this, because this is exactly where I'm going with this right here about LeBron. LeBron talking about replay officials. Like, what's the point of replay officials? Because you could clearly see this and that happen in the replay, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of scoff and laugh at that, Sean. And guys, I laugh at that because you can't be the person. You can't be the messenger for this. Like somebody else has to be the messenger for that conversation, because you, friend, do not want replay officials looking at any replay and then rejecting a call or enforcing something off of a replay, because a lot of your files, they will see, oh, this is a phantom call. Let's go ahead and not send them to the line right now. Let's go ahead and not give this foul right now because this dude is flopping on the floor or whatever. You don't want that smoke, guy. And if they were to do the replays in this particular game, if they were to show a replay, they would show a replay of D'Lo pushing off.
Boom. Right. Somebody said it. Go ahead.
They would show a replay of D'Lo pushing off before the three. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't really want that, my guy. You say that, but you don't want that. So you gotta relax and like don't blame. You can't blame replay officials or whatever on you guys dropping a 20-point lead. That happened, and that. So I don't know, man. Sean, hey, Sean and the guys watching, like, what do you guys think?
Look, man. Look, straight up and down, Mark. This is my issue, man. You got bigger fish to fry, bro. This is the same team that embarrassed y'all last year. Mm-hmm. Granted, they're the champs. That's great. The Lakers was on a run. They ran into Denver. Y'all lost by close margins. Y'all lost by big margins. Either way, they got you up out of there pretty quickly, man. You got swept, right? So this is, and then people are adding in all these regular season games too, and say, y'all, this now makes 10 straight, Mark. This makes 10 straight. When we talk about teams owning teams, this is the definition of a team owning a team, mm-hmm. Mark. So like when this happens, when you have a 20-point lead and it gets blown, and it's blown versus a team that has had your number this entire time for the past 365 days, Mark, and longer, right? And it happens in a way to where Jamal Murray puts the dagger, drops a dagger in your chest. I remember two of those 4 games in the sweep being a Jamal Murray game where he put the dagger in them. So it's happening in the same exact manner and fashion as it's been happening this entire time, man. Like, and you want to talk about a foul that you think should have got called? Like, absolutely not, man. Like if you're going to be LeBron James, you're going to be a leader of the Lakers. Let's be honest, the Lakers, that storied franchise, that organization. If you're going to be, jockeying for position as the GOAT in the NBA, then these are defining moments. Like what you say after a game like this, how you respond after a game like this, is absolutely going to get looked at, and it should, man. And to hear, I'm going to speak now from a LeBron James fan standpoint, is this. As a fan of LeBron James, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Like, right. I want to see you gear up. I want to see you take your game to the next level. I want to see you pissed off at the podium the same way that AD was pissed off, man. I want to see, maybe not the same exact way, but you know what I mean. I want to see some fire. I don't want to see you complaining about a call that happened versus D'Lo when you obviously had many opportunities throughout the game to do something, man. And I agree with Mark. It's crazy to me at this stage in the game for any superstar, but specifically a superstar of LeBron James caliber, to be complaining about the refs not reviewing things. Because let's be honest, once you're a superstar of that caliber, you're getting calls. You're getting more calls than you're having calls go against you in your team. It just is what it is. There's no reason why you should be complaining about that. And I agree with you, Mark. If I'm the league, I'm saying, okay, let's look closer into this. And then every time he flops, I'm blowing the whistle.
Yep.
It's very simple. We're gonna be fair. You want us to look into things? We looking into things. You can't just you can't absolve yourself. You know what I'm saying? You as well will be held accountable for looking at everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's a stupid move. I think it's a stupid move for his legacy. I think it's a soft move. Everything about it screams soft, and everything about it is why you have so many people that dislike or even hate LeBron James. It's moments like this.
Hey man, some of us saw it early and was just like, I don't like that guy. Some of us saw it. Some of us, it didn't take us to year 20 to figure out what exactly it is that we don't like about it. But here we go. Rob says AD and Bron in both games had a lead, and then they kept turning the ball over. Game 1, Bron had 7 of the 12 turnovers in the fourth, and last night had a lead again and turned it over. That is very true. Very true statement indeed. Rob again goes to say AD only took 2 shots the whole fourth quarter. The Nuggets couldn't stop LeBron and AD 2-man game. They go away from it in the fourth. Hey man, blame the floor general on that one, because that's LeBron the floor. LeBron's
you're
the
controlling the
right?
entire offense, man. Like, yes, that has to go on LeBron. That's plain and simple.
LeBron,
you have the rock in your hand. You are the quarterback of the offense.
And 100%, I feel like that's why AD was so pissed off, because LeBron stopped going to him in the entirety of the fourth, and AD was like, "Yo." Like when they came to the media, they was like, "So what happened on that last shot?" AD is like, "The fuck? Like, I didn't get the ball in the entire fourth quarter. Like, and you want to talk to me about Jamal Murray? Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. Like,
yeah, you guys asking me about a shot? About a shot? Bro, I put the team on my back in the first half. The reason why we had a 20-point lead was because of me. And then I don't get the ball in the fourth quarter because I'm not the one who has control of the ball. And then somebody makes a tough shot over me. Y'all shouldn't be asking me no questions.
It's the wildest thing is AD didn't get the ball in the fourth quarter and somehow still has the most points on the team for the game.
The man had 8 points in the second half. He had 27 in the first half of the game, man. Like, I don't know what else you want AD to do, you know. And I've seen a lot of people trolling AD, saying, "Hey, look, that last play right there, that's why you're not Defensive Player of the Year." and that's crazy. Like, now, granted, it's funny, Mark. It is funny because he just spoke out about it. A lot of people spoke out about it yesterday. I mean, the day before, and then the day of the game, that happens, and it's like, see, that's why you're not Defensive Player of the Year. That's crazy.
They wanted them to have the Jordan's Space Jam stretch. The arm
hey man,
stretch.
I don't know. Like, Mark, you can't play better defense than that. I don't know as a center out on the wing, closing out, and I wouldn't even say closing out. He didn't even have to come from that far. Like, he was in position like he should have been to defend that, and he defended it exactly how he's supposed to. Like, he does anything more than that, he's fouling him, Mark. Like, I don't know what you want him to do.
In the Jeans Fitness says, how much blame do you put on coaching in these games? All of it. All of it is on the coaching. The coaching of LeBron James. All of it.
Look, this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say about the coaching. Here's my issue with the coaching. And I'm going to touch on both parts of it. Darvin Ham is terrible, bro. Darvin Ham's
not the coach.
Terrible. First off, I'm gonna let you know right now, we're not letting Darvin Ham off the hook. Because if Darvin Ham is in control of the rotation, then that has something to do with.
Is he?
He is, because I'm telling you, LeBron don't want these rotations. But I will tell you this. So, and it's been bad from the beginning of the season. Darvin Ham has been terrible. Okay, He's worse with rotations than Doc Rivers, and that's saying a lot. Now, with that said, Mark,
that's saying a whole lot.
He's the only person that I think is worse than Doc Rivers when it comes to rotation. But the other half of that is you have a coach on the floor, Mark, and his name is LeBron James, bro. And if there's anybody that has the power to veto Darvin Ham, it's LeBron James, bro. Like you can't. If there's something going on, if you see the 20-point lead dwindling, number one, you have the power to do something on the court with the ball because you're the floor general. You have something to you have the ability to make those calls. Hey, we calling a timeout. You have the power to go and tell Darvin Ham, we not bringing in that person for the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Prince ain't playing today. Okay, we just the only people coming in here is Rui Hachimura. Like you can control that, LeBron. Like you absolutely have the power to make those decisions, and nobody's gonna bat an eye because they understand how high your basketball IQ is. They will respect it. Okay, especially if you feel like, hey, maybe the coach don't like that. You upstaging him or whatever, but at the same time, coach knows if y'all get swept again by Denver, then the coach might not have a job. So coach can be mad, but he ain't gonna do nothing about it. So that's on both of them, Mark. That is on both of them, and I personally put more of the blame on LeBron because Darvin Ham is a second-year head coach,
and he's a puppet.
Yeah, he's being a bad puppet. I can tell you that too. It's terrible. But yes, the whole situation is bad. But what's happening right now, Mark, is exactly what I expected out of this series, and it's exactly what I expected from the Lakers season this year.
All right, real quick, just to let you guys know, because I see we got a few people in here right now. Please hit that like button and share it out to your friends and all that. But real quick, just want to say this before any of you guys get out of here. If you just tapping in real quick or whatever, look, we going live on Thursday for the draft, for the NFL draft. And when we go live on Thursday, we're going to be playing a drinking game. If you want any input on the things that will cause us to drink, stick around for our draft topic, because that's when we'll be taking suggestions on things that'll make us drink during the NFL draft. But like I said, we're going live Thursday. Stick around for that. Anyway, but back to the topic at hand. We was talking about the Lakers and the things that's going wrong with them. I like this comment, so I'm which one is it? Oh, I like this comment, so I'm gonna share it real quick. This is one that's from Rob. It says, listen, I got no issue with AD, man. Been balling, and he played 70 plus games this year. The Lakers need less LeBron and they win. Dagger. Now, I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean less LeBron on the floor. He means less LeBron
demanding the ball, doing all the other stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. So, like, in what he's referring to is there was a stretch of the season, much like last season, where LeBron wasn't there and they were winning.
Right.
The team seemed like it was gelling more.
And they were thriving.
It wasn't as good as their run last year, Mark, but it was noticeable, right? So, and then on top of that, the games where the Lakers have looked the best have been the games where LeBron has taken a slight step back and letting other players cook, like Austin Reeves. The same way it looked the same way, Mark, in the playoffs last year, if you remember, where there were certain games where he was like, nah, I'm just gonna let Rui Hachimura and I'm gonna let Austin Reeves cook. Like, I'm gonna play off the ball. I'm gonna let Austin Reeves bring the ball up the court. If I do have the ball, I'm gonna be looking to set these guys up. And that, so far, for the last 2 seasons, has been the best version of the Lakers to me. And then in the moments where you need your superstar to be a superstar and take over, he's done that. He did that last year. I don't know if you remember the fourth quarter and overtime game that he had last year against Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Like that game is exactly what we're talking about. He let everybody else play like they were supposed to. He let the team gel. He let the team go out there and run off their chemistry and run up and down the court. And then when the time came, it's like, yo, I need to turn it up. That has been the best version of the Lakers in the last 2 seasons. So when Rob is saying, hey, you know, they need less LeBron, I understand where he's coming from and I understand what he's saying.
No, absolutely. So here, next up, but that's enough of the Lakers topic. Let's move on, because there's another team that has been struggling to finish out these games, and that is the Sixers. But on the flip side of that, it feels like the Sixers are getting robbed at the end of these games. Like, we're talking about an 8-point lead erased in 30 seconds. Like an 8-point lead erased in 30 seconds. And that was just in this game. And in game 1, the last 2 minutes of the game, you had missed calls against Tyrese Maxey, where they're like you see on the replay and you see in the still shots, guys are pulling on his jersey to the point of it tearing and things of that nature. And in this game, you have Nick Nurse, who's calling for a timeout at the end, like towards the end, and the refs are acting like he's not there and being completely oblivious to the situation that's happening. And that's not typical. Like, that's bad on the refs, because usually in those games, in those type of situations, a ref will position himself near a coach so that if the coach calls a timeout or whatever, he can hear it. He's right there. But there was nobody around. He's calling a timeout. They're not hearing it. They're not seeing him. They're not looking at him, and everything's falling to shit for the Sixers towards the end, and a little and now you have the NBA admitting that the last 2 minutes, yeah, man, human error, we fucked up. Like, that's essentially what they're doing in both situations. Like, it's particularly this last game, they was like, yeah, human error, we fucked up. Like, yeah, that's not acceptable in the playoffs, man.
Nah, man, like, because it's not acceptable for a few reasons. Number one, it's the playoffs. Number two, you're supposed to have your best refs handpicked to referee the playoffs based on, you know, how accurate they've been throughout the season, man. At the NFL, every professional sports in America does the same thing. They make sure they have their best referees and umpires for the game, you know, like for the playoff games. Not only is it unacceptable, Mark, but it sounds like horse shit. Right. And let's be honest, man. I put that title up there for a reason, man. Is the NBA fixing wins for the big market Knicks, man? Like, we know how they feel about LA. We know how they feel about the Knicks. They've been trying to make the Knicks happen for a very long time now, Mark. And I think they saw their opportunity last year when they saw that, you know, the way that Brunson played in the playoffs last year, the way that they came out of that Cavaliers series where a lot of people picked the Cavs over the Knicks, and then in the next series they balled out too. Like, I think the NBA saw opportunity to say, look, man, we can make this a thing. We can make this a thing, you know, and not being able to see a coach calling a timeout is nonsense, Mark. Not only do they stand next to the coaches in a scenario like that late in the game, Mark, but a lot of times during a timeout, during a dead ball whistle, they will go over to the coach and have a conversation with them, because they know that the coach is probably going to want to call a timeout in that scenario. So they go over there and they have a conversation with them. The coach lets them know, hey, man, if they miss this free throw, for example, and we get the rebound, I'm calling a timeout. Like, these are things that happen in every NBA game, regular season, postseason, and all that. This happens in NFL games, Mark. It happens all the time where they already know what's happening and what the coaches are probably going to do and when they're going to want these timeouts. So they make sure that they're within the earshot of that coach or they make sure they have a conversation during a dead ball with that coach so that they can make sure the timeout gets recognized and called to where the clock isn't just running off. So, nah, man, they willfully were not doing things that they normally do to ensure that the timeout is called.
Hey, man, remember, y'all know my motto. All this is only entertainment, especially in the NBA. The NBA is definitely just entertainment, dog.
They be playing in none of that shit serious. The NBA, man. They be playing in your face in the NBA, man.
But yeah, man. Rick says Spike Lee paid off the referees, which is hilarious. Rob brings up another point that there was a ref right by Maxey when he fell on the floor. These are all very true things that happen in this game. Unfortunately for the Sixers, that might have been the death call because Embiid don't look good at all.
Yeah, in the tweaked meniscus, that's a problem right now, and it looked like it was a problem.
Yo, did you see the diabolical stuff that was going on? How you have this? Like, I don't know why the Sixers allowed this man to walk up that long ass ramp. Like, why was he walking uphill into the stadium? Like, for game 2. You know this dude knee is crazy, and you see that ramp going up the like. Hey
man, that man got fluid swishing and swashing around up in his kneecap and shit, and then y'all got him walking up that. Hey, that is crazy, Mark. You would think that they would have like an escort. Like I know these arenas have the golf carts where the security guys drive through the hallways and shit. Like you could have easily had security and somebody come pick him up, man. Like. I don't know, Mark, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'll be honest with you. Let's say he was a normal player, and then they had him walking up the ramp. It's like, okay, maybe I'll give you a pass. You're talking about a man like Joel Embiid, who has the injury history that he has, bro. Hey, if we got to get 4 people to lift him up, Mark, and carry him like he's the Prince of Zamunda, bro, we gotta lift him up and carry him in the stadium, bro.
Like, no, what's the John that you learned for the chair carry? Like,
yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, you get one leg on your shoulder, you get another one on your shoulder. Yeah, we gonna figure this out, Mark, because ain't no way, man. Ain't no way we're gonna go another playoff series with an injured Embiid, man. We're not doing this, man.
We already here. We're here now, baby.
We are here now. So, but yes. Either way, I feel like you do, man. The way that they win this series is Embiid has to play high amount of minutes. And Embiid has to have like a 40 to 50 point game.
Which he's not capable of right now.
He's not capable of that right now. And let's be honest, I know we've been making jokes about it in the 750 group. Tibbs got them boys playing full 48s right now. You can't send your bench in, bro. You can send your bench in if you want to. The Knicks are going to get the lead at that point because the starters ain't coming out, okay? There is no rotation on the Knicks, okay? You have starters playing 45 minutes to 48 minutes a game. Like,
but that's what it's supposed to be. It's playoff basketball, man.
Yes, but that's my point. The only way you combat that is if Embiid plays the same amount of minutes Embiid needs to play at least 42 minutes, Mark. And that's not happening right now. It's not possible. So,
all right. But yeah, things are dire for the Sixers to say the least. Like Rick said, it's Philly against everyone right now, and that's pretty much just the way it's going to have to be. Rob brought up the fact that he might be ready to go for the Summer Olympics, and that the Summer Olympics need to have a backup plan, which is very true because it ain't looking good, man. The Summer Olympics is right around the corner.
Summer Olympics is starting like a month after the season ends. Like you don't got time for that.
Yeah, so this dude, things got to be figured out. But I know one thing for Sixer fans out there. I know one thing they're not going to want to see. They are not going to want to see limping around Joel Embiid not be healthy, not be available for yet another playoff, and then go watch him ball out and be his 100% self for some summer Olympic shit. They not gonna like that.
Hey, you can get away with that in Minnesota. You can't get away with that in Philly, Mark. You can't.
They're not gonna like that. Nah.
And you know how it goes, Mark. They're already waiting and watching to see that. It's not like it's gonna get by them, Mark. Like they're literally gonna be watching and waiting to see. Okay, he on Team USA. Let's see what happens. We'll see what he does in the playoffs, and let's see what he does on Team USA.
Now watch. He's gonna ball. Now this is typical Joel Embiid stuff. He's gonna ball out for the Summer Olympics shit, right? Yeah. And come back to the regular season hurt because of some shit that he did in the Summer Olympics.
That would be some Joel Embiid stuff to do. That would absolutely be that.
I mean, so it is what it is. But hey, man, I wish them luck. I wish. Look, man, I'm not a Sixers fan, but I am a Sixers supporter, and one thing for sure is I like the world that I live in where the Knicks are terrible. I like that world. I love that world.
I enjoy it. As a matter of fact, it's been a wonderful past like 25 years being a Knicks hater. It's actually been great for me.
Like I'm not even a Knicks hater.
No, I am a Knicks hater. I'm speaking for myself, Mark.
I just enjoy the world that I live in when the Knicks aren't good. But Jalen Brunson is the good player. He's a great player. And they're going to actually win a round in the playoffs? Like, come on, man. That's weird. That's weird stuff, man.
Look, I like Brunson enough.
Did they even win a round in the playoffs when they had Carmelo Anthony?
No, they didn't. They didn't win any rounds in the playoffs when they had Carmelo Anthony. But that's besides the point. I mean, maybe it ain't besides the point. But I like Brunson. If they get a round one win, I like that for Brunson. Right. What I don't like is how it's happening, the refs influencing the game, Joel Embiid not being healthy. I think the world of Jalen Brunson, but I would like to see him go up against a full strength Philly. That's my viewpoint on it. But yes, right now, but I'm with you. The Knicks, I don't like the Knicks, man. If they lose 4 straight from here on out, it's gonna put a smile on my face, you know. But we need to get back. We need to get back to the Knicks losing. We need to go back. We need to get back to the Knicks being the Knicks, you know.
Yeah, man.
I still can't believe that quote of "We need to get back to New York Knicks basketball" from Patrick Ewing or whoever said that. That was wild. I was like, "This is New York Knicks basketball."
Exactly. It's everything that they offer.
Yeah.
But one person that needs to get away from the status quo, Devin Booker, man. Listen, Sean. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've been watching the Suns, and the Suns they won 49 games this year. They didn't even break the 50 this year, and they haven't looked as good. They have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and somehow it's a worse product than it was last year.
Yeah, it somehow is because they have less pieces. Not only do they have less quality pieces, but the pieces that they have don't fit. And then when I look at Bradley Beal, who apparently duped everybody before the trade, seemed healthy, and then as soon as the trade happened, they're like, "We doing the onboarding physical," and this man got health issues. Man, that man got a bad stomach. So then now, so they started off the season already without him. They didn't have the time to build the chemistry. And then when he comes back, as bad as we thought the team was, or as underperforming as we thought the team was with Bradley Beal out, the chemistry seems even more off since Bradley Beal has been back. So like the team seems worse with Bradley Beal back, and it seems to be showing itself in the playoffs here too. They got beat by 30 points, Mark.
Yeah,
by the Timberwolves. They didn't even put up 100 points, Mark.
KD only played 20. I'm not KD. Cat only played 27 minutes, bro.
Yeah, and I understand that Cat is coming back from an injury, but Cat has been back from the injury for at least a couple. He's been back for a little bit. He's been back for enough to where he should get more minutes than that. But the fact that they don't need him to play that long,
they don't, and still putting up double-digit victories is crazy.
It's like 30 points. Look, man, it's in the T-Wolves put up 120 points. If you would have asked me at the season start, Mark, do I think versus the T-Wolves, 120 points is enough for the T-Wolves to beat the Suns in a playoff game? I would have told you that might not be enough. Now, if you would have also told me that would be enough for them to win by 30 points, I would call you a damn liar, Mark. There's no way that I would have believed that, but that's what happened. Devin Booker put up 20-something points. KD put up 30-something points. Bradley Beal put up like 12 points. And then the rest of the team didn't do anything. It's just, but that's because you have three players taking all the shots. And then there's no chemistry. There's no chemistry left. There's no space left for the rest of the players to really get involved in the offense. So essentially what you need is if all three of those guys are going to be shooting all the balls, all three of them need to get 30. At this point, Mark, all three of them need to get 30 plus in order for them to be able to compete. And that's not going to happen.
No, probably not. And I mean, it's sad, but it is what it is. But the thing is about this, back to the main point of the topic. What's up?
No, I had a breaking update.
What's that?
They're saying that Kawhi Leonard is playing tonight.
Oh.
Kawhi Leonard is actually playing an important game in the playoffs, is the way that it was worded to me. That's insanity. But we'll see once the game actually starts. The game time is an hour from now.
10 p.m.
Yeah, it's an hour from now. We'll see. But I think that should be considered breaking news.
Right. Right. So, but no, like back to the main point of this topic was you lose in the first round of the playoffs. You are now officially completely moving backwards. And Devin Booker is now in year 8 of his career. You do not want to go down the Damian Lillard path. You don't want to do that. You don't want to keep showing loyalty to something that's essentially going to be a failure. Like the Suns have went from the Western Conference Finals to third round exits. Like, no, actually, they went from the finals to Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
to second, third round exits, and now you're facing a first round exit. You are 100% moving backwards.
Yeah, they're going down the steps.
You have to leave. You have to get out of there, man. You have to figure your way out of there while you still got time and not waste your career. Devin Booker, at this point, it's time to hang it up and say thank you, Suns, for everything you've done for me.
Yeah. But
I need to find somewhere where I can actually compete, because competing here is no longer a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a fan of players leaving. Like, I guess the best way, let me reword that. I like it when a star player gets drafted and they stick it out. They go the max that they can. That they can. They do the extension to their rookie contract, essentially going 7 years with the same organization, right? We watched LeBron do it with Cleveland. We watched a lot of these players do it, right? Mm-hmm. I prefer to see them go that full 7 years, giving the franchise an opportunity to build around them. But I can tell you this, that's it. 7 years is all I'm willing to see from a franchise wasting a superstar's time. Okay? That's all I'm willing to see. You just said it. Devin Booker is in year 8. If I'm Devin Booker after this season, I'm demanding a trade. I'm not going to be Dame Lillard. You're right. I'm not going to be Dame Lillard. I'm not going to be, I'm not even going to be Charles Barkley, okay? I'm not leaving the team that drafted me at 31 years old, 33 years old. I'm not waiting that long, okay? You guys better get it right now, or I'm bouncing. So we all seen this play out recently with the Portland Trailblazers. At the moment in time when we said Dame Lillard should leave, Mark, since then, his playoff outs started being worse and worse. It started getting to the point where they're scraping by just to make it into the playoffs, Mark.
Right.
We saw the decline happening. We saw that the franchise wasn't going to be able to bring players in. We saw that they weren't going to. In their case, maybe it's not for a lack of trying, but we just knew the job wasn't going to get done. And we understood that Dame Lillard is a player that we like, that we think has enough talent to where he should be with an organization that has more to offer him as far as legacy goes. So, yeah, I don't want to see, because what's happening to Dame Lillard right now is sad. You got Doc Rivers sinking the ship over there with the Milwaukee Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Things aren't working out the way it's supposed to. Dame don't have time for them to figure out who the coach is, right? I don't want to see Devin Booker go down that path. I'm not even a Devin Booker fan, Mark. I feel indifferent towards Devin Booker. But what I am a fan of is high-level basketball play. I'm a fan of high-level offensive ability, and Devin Booker is poster child for that. And I would hate to have to see him suffer with the Suns in this turning from a first-round exit to a constant, hey, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I want better for Devin Booker, but hey, man, that was only one game. Game 2 coming up now. So we'll see. Maybe they win this game. Maybe they pull their stuff together and go far. But if they do,
they ain't winning this game. But let's go.
But if they do, hey man, no, things didn't get worse because Grayson Allen left the game. That is a net positive. Anytime Grayson Allen is not in the game.
Now, what I will say, Mark, I like that comment. You know why? Because that's a perfect example of the state of the Suns right now.
You're depending on Grayson Allen.
The fact that y'all need Grayson Allen and that he's one of the better, he's the best player that's not part of that big three for the Suns. He's the best player that's not part of the big three for the Suns. That's insanity, Mark. That's exactly why you guys are in the situation that you're in right now.
Absolutely. All right, man. Now it's time to have the conversation that we've been trying to have the whole time, bro. It's time for that. It's time for the draft talk. So we're here now. We're here in the draft talk realm. So welcome. All right, man. NFL draft is coming up, and there's some questions I have, man. The Bears said they know what their draft pick is, and they know, and they kind of being cloak and dagger about it, which is a little bit weird because we know you're going to draft a quarterback, right, Sean? Like, I mean, right, guys?
Yeah.
Sean, guys, you traded away.
There's a 99.9% chance. That 0.1% chance is nonsense. But go ahead. Yes.
But yeah, like you traded away Justin Fields. So so you hiding it is not a thing. Like Justin Fields is already gone. You already made that move, so you need a quarterback at this point. And so that part we're not worried about. We know what you're going to do there. But the way you're talking is as if like you're thinking about possibly not getting Caleb Williams, and or like maybe there's a chance that you not get Caleb Williams. And if there was a chance that the Bears don't get Caleb Williams, I guess my question to you guys out there, and especially to you, Sean, is would that be a mistake? Would it be a mistake to pass on Williams?
So this is I think the general answer is yes. It would be a mistake. The reason why it would be a mistake is because you already got rid of the quarterback that you had.
Like you lost another one.
And it wasn't like this is an old vet placeholder quarterback. You got rid of a young prospect that you supposedly invested time and effort into. Is somebody that has at least another 15 years left, to play this game. So if you're abandoning one of the better young prospects that currently exist in the NFL, then that would mean that you have a better young prospect coming out in the draft that you're looking at, right? And to me, I think it's just as risky to draft Jaden Daniels. What's the difference, Mark, between Jaden Daniels and Justin Fields coming out of college?
You tell me.
Both of them are raw talents, and they have an exceptional ability to run the ball. But they both have arms. But they both are just raw quarterbacks that need time to develop. You can't possibly be thinking about not drafting Caleb Williams so that you can draft Jaden Daniels when you essentially had Jaden Daniels on your team, right? Now, some people would say Jaden Daniels maybe looks better as a prospect than Justin Fields, but not better enough to where I'm just going to abandon Justin Fields, right? So then the other part about that is I know it ain't for Michael Penix Jr. Penix, his problem is he can't stay healthy. He's gotten injured, 3 times in college in 5 years?
I was also about to bring up the fact that isn't he one of the older players? So
he is.
So he
just played the 5th season.
Yeah.
So he's an older quarterback, which means we know what it is. If you stay that long in college, it's because you need to. All right? And if you stay that long in college, that means you're closer to your ceiling.
All right.
Okay? So, and you're going to be more stuck in your ways. It's going to be harder to teach you things. It is, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact that you stayed 5 years because of injuries is the problem that I have. So you're not going to move off of Justin Fields for injury-prone quarterback. So, Mark, here's my only answer as far as it not being a bad move. Now, if they are deciding that Caleb Williams has too many red flags and we don't want him, but we already moved on from Justin Fields, then Mark, the decision only makes sense to me if they are trading out of the top spot right now so that they can try to make a move for Shedeur Sanders next season. If somehow they're trying to secure a top spot in the draft for next year so that they can get Shedeur Sanders, then I would say maybe it's not such a bad move. But then my problem with that, Mark, is how are you going to guarantee yourself to get a high enough pick for that? You don't know how next season is gonna play out. You're essentially rolling the dice. And you're not just rolling the dice, you're rolling it after you already made a permanent decision to get rid of Justin Fields. So even in that scenario, the only way it works out is if they actually end up with Shedeur Sanders or if they actually end up with a top 3 pick in the draft. It seems like no matter what they do, Mark, if they do not draft Caleb Williams, it's a bad decision based off of the fact that they abandoned the Justin Fields project.
All right. Yeah, we're going to keep talking about this stuff.
Oh,
but real
yes.
quick, I'm just going to say to you guys, look, man, we planned on doing like a drinking game for Thursday night, and I want to start seeing you guys' comments now on what things that would cause us to drink on Thursday night. And here's examples. Like, an example is anytime a quarterback gets compared to Patrick Mahomes, we would have to drink. Anytime that the broadcasters bring up players' troubled home life, like remember that year when they was like, yeah, man, like his mom was a drug dealer and she's locked up for life, but look at him now. Look at him, top cornerback in his class. Amazing. Has nothing to do with football, but they're talking about like some tragic home life stuff that's going on. That would cause us to drink.
Matter of fact, I remember it specifically because that was the COVID year. That was the year that we were supposed to go to the draft in Vegas. Yeah, but that was a wild sequence. It was like draft pick after draft pick after draft pick. I'm like, y'all, I'm starting to believe y'all making up these stories. There's no way that 5 draft picks in a row went through some movie level type stuff, like growing up as a kid, you know.
So that type of stuff. If you have any suggestions on anything that you usually see in the draft that is funny or weird, and you want
funny or outrageous,
you just like, look, that needs to be something that needs to be part of the drinking game. Go ahead and start adding that in the comments. But
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna throw in there something that my team did, taking a kicker in the 3rd round. That has to be a drinking scenario right there. Like, that has to be it.
You're right. Early. I'm about to write that down right now.
Yeah.
Early round. I mean, but that's not going to happen on night 1, though.
No, it's not going to happen on night 1. It better not happen on night 1. You can't say it won't because the Raiders did it. They drafted Janikowski with a 1st round pick. So I can't say that it won't happen, but I'm fairly confident that it won't happen.
Yeah. A kicker taken in the 1st round, you got to take 2 shots.
You
take a... Nah, I can't hear you. I don't know what just happened. Come on now. Every time you a commissioner, dog, like, we be drinking all night, dog.
Nah, son. We ain't trying to get sauced up like that. We ain't gonna finish the live stream, baby. They be booing the commissioner as soon as he come out. It'd be like before the 1st overall pick is taken, they booing the commissioner as he walking out to the stage, man. We can't do that, man. How about this? How about this one, Mark? If we drink every time a GM is caught celebrating after a horrendous pick. I'm sorry, but this all brings me back to Philly making bad picks. Like the high fives on the booth when Jalen Rager was drafted was wild, Mark.
No.
I feel like that should be worth something. Go ahead.
No, I got one. Anytime like they cut to the war rooms and the war room look like they upset, like with the pick that was made, like they not celebrating, they just sitting there.
Yeah. You talk about the times when it's like we all came to a decision and the owner went rogue. And the owner just did some shit that none of us agreed to. Yeah. I like that one. We can write that down. Yep. Yeah. Washington, you absolutely right. You said if we drink every time they boo the commissioner, we be on the ground at pick 9. Absolutely.
I'm gonna write that down as upset war room. Upset war room.
Upset war room. I like that because, hey, Mark, I'm not gonna lie to you. every time that happens, it makes me chuckle. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Y'all didn't even see this coming.
Like everybody,
like this is wild. And you know what's funny is every time that happens, Mark, it's always a terrible pick. It's not like the owner said, "Nah, I'm vetoing everything," and then they make a great pick. No, it's always a terrible pick.
All right. In the Gene said, we trade within the top 10 picks on draft day should be shot.
We talked about that, Mark.
Oh, but yeah, we do. That is one trade. Trades. Any trades that are made during
you just say first round.
During the first round.
I say during the first round.
Yeah. Trades on first round is a shot.
Yeah.
Another one would be dang it, I just had it before I read that.
Oh, hey, how about this? I got one for you.
Oh, hold on to that, because you know how my brain works.
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. Anytime we see an overzealous girlfriend.
You know what's funny? That was the second thing I was gonna say, Mark. So we on the same page, right? Overzealous girlfriend, man. And then the other part, the first thing that I was gonna say, Mark, was at the end, because this is gonna happen at the end of the draft. We're gonna take a shot for every player that's left in the green room. After day one, man. Like, end of the draft comes, hey yo, we got 3 players sitting in the green room that didn't get drafted. So yeah, that happens. We got to take a shot for each player that's left in the green room. At least we know that that's something that's absolutely gonna happen.
Yeah. Nah, man, like it just takes me back to a CeeDee Lamb girlfriend.
Hey, dog,
like,
he snaps that shit right back, yo. He's like, yo, you think I'm gonna do this on camera? All right. I was like, somebody need to go check on that situation.
CeeDee Lamb's girlfriend, Russell Wilson's
girlfriend was bugging.
I think that was his then wife or some shit, right?
It was his fiance at the time, I believe. They were already engaged, man. Yo, she looked like she won the Mega Millions, bro. she reacted like she won the Mega Millions. That was wild. Man, boy, she had a vein popping out of the side of her neck and everything.
Mouth all wide and crazy.
Hey, that was crazy, bro. That was it. She like she looked like the Dave Chappelle skit. I got enough sticker to last me and my family the rest of our lives. Hey, look. All I'm saying was she was ecstatic. But yeah, one of his other girlfriends is a good one. I like that.
What else y'all got? Right now we have, if a kicker was taken in round 1, you're gonna have to take 2 shots. Upset War Room. Anytime that the War Room it does not agree with the pick that was taken, that is a shot. Mm-hmm. If we have any trades that are made between teams in round 1, that is a shot. And then we have overzealous girlfriends is a shot, and players left over in the green room is a shot. And of course, that's on top of the elite quarterback comparisons.
Elite. And when we say elite, you know what we're talking about. The next, when somebody makes a Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and as much as I dislike this man, I still won't allow it. Any Aaron Rodgers comparisons, like, people need to stop with these. But yes, if they're comparing them to elite quarterbacks, yeah.
All right, we got one. I just got a text message from my wife here that says draft picks manhandle commissioner on stage.
Oh, talking about the tough ass handshakes?
Yeah, like the super hard handshakes are the lifting them up in the air.
Yeah. Okay, I like that one. Hey, I feel like we got enough stuff, and I feel like I'm trying to protect myself, but I'm not going to, Mark. So I got one more for you, Mark, because that just reminded me. The disappointed draftee.
when he's mad with the team that took him.
Hey, he take that extra 2 or 3 extra seconds to put the hat on. You know what I'm saying?
When he's like putting on the jacket. He's putting on the jacket. He's like,
hey, they take an extra 5 seconds before they get up to go to the stage. Yo,
he putting the hat on. He's like,
draftee. Yeah.
Looks like you lost.
Hey, that's funny. He said when they talk about Aaron Rodgers' injury recovery shots, nah. We not.
Hey,
like, first off, they better not be talking about Aaron Rodgers' injury, bro.
I'm gonna put it because if they do it, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I'm gonna put it because it'll be absolutely ridiculous that it's there.
But you know how much they love Aaron Rodgers. There's a chance that they can do it, Mark. They'll find a way to squeeze that in there, boy. They love them some Aaron Rodgers, man. But yeah, disappointed draftee. That's the one. Not gonna lie, man. They be looking upset and sour, boy. Yeah. You a wide receiver. You just got drafted to the Broncos. Hey, look.
Hey, we might be shot by the 4th pick because Marvin Harrison is not gonna go into the Cardinals, bro.
No, he's not, bro. Hey, look, man. Look, I understand he's a class act, and he's been. I hate saying that. You know what I'm saying? They only say that about black people, but I understand he's a class act, Mark. But dog, I can see him actually showing emotion about being drafted by the Cardinals. I can see it happening. He's been nothing but exemplary when it comes to how he deals with the media for the time he set foot in college. But let's be honest, Mark. There's certain things you can't hide. You can't hide your disappointment of being drafted by the Cardinals or the Broncos right now.
Hey
oh, God.
real quick, the people that just stepped in, for those of you that just stepped in, what we're doing is we're going to be live on Thursday, and we're building up a draft list of drinking game. So right now we got kickers taking a shot in the first round. I mean, kickers taken in the first round. That would be 2 shots. Upset war room, like the war room being upset with the pick that was taken. Anytime a team makes a trade in the first round, the overzealous girlfriend. We got a shot for every player left over in the green room that didn't get taken. We got
that. Go ahead.
We got quarterback comparisons. This one is anytime they compare like a draft player with an elite quarterback that has won multiple Super Bowl rings or some shit like that. Like, Doug, you're not fucking Tom Brady. Let's not compare this dude to Tom Brady, please.
Yeah, and Drake May's not Eli Manning. Relax.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then we got the players manhandling the commissioner on stage. And then we also have disappointed draftees. And from Rob, we got if the draftee walks on stage with childbearing hips. Unfortunately for you, I feel like there was only one player in existence that just somehow I don't know how he ever played football. Like somehow he never worked out a day in the life so that he just had hips like that. It's weird. But
yeah. Mac Jones, for those that are curious, Mac Jones, everything about him says that he used to play football in high school and now he is a shoe salesman. Everything about him screams Al Bundy, but that's fine.
Yeah. So that's what we got so far. If y'all got anything else,
his brother is Drake May. Hey Rob, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You gonna be sick if your Patriots take Drake May, bro. And I don't, and you already know I don't like the Patriots, right? And I like you, Rob. I like you, right? I love you, man. But I'm rooting for the Patriots to take Drake May. I am absolutely rooting for that to happen. because I know that your reaction is going to last more than a day. It's going to last for weeks, months, maybe the whole season. If you guys draft Drake May, I know you're going to be sick. Might have to. He said he might have to put me on suicide watch. Hey, look, that's why. Hey, look, all I know is if they, I'm rooting for it. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I'm rooting for the Patriots to take Drake May.
Hey,
it's gonna put a smile on my face.
My cousin is. By the way, I just wanted to mention this. My cousin will be making one of the Saturday picks for the Eagles, or like so one of the. I guess what's that? The 4th, 5th, and 6th? No, yeah. 4, 6, and 7, or is it just 5, 6, and 7? Is Friday's just second and third round, right?
Yeah, it's just second and third round.
So on Friday. One of the picks on Saturday, my cousin will be making that for the Eagles, which will be really dope to see. I'm excited for him for that. I mean, this isn't the first time he's made a pick for the Eagles.
Yeah.
But this will be, but it'll be nice to. But this time, I'm pretty sure that instead of it being with his football team, it'll be just him this time. Yeah. So that'll be.
I remember the first year because when he did it, that was the draft that was actually in Philly. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that'll be dope. But anyway, next, but like one of the things that I do want to talk about is because you're talking about disappointment, Rob, and you guys can keep that stuff coming. But as far as like suggestions for why we should drink, but my disappointment, I just want to bring this up, is because people are talking around like as if there's a chance that the Eagles doesn't take they don't take a corner, and in the first round that somehow they take an offensive lineman or some shit like that, because that's just who Howard Roseman has been the entire time that he's been here. And I wrote to someone else about that, and I was having a conversation with the Live from the Bench people, because he asked the question like, what if they don't, would it be a travesty or would it be an issue if they don't take a corner in the first round? And I'm just going to let you guys know exactly what I said about that. So this is my exact response. I said they have to take a CB here. There is no dilemma of conscience. Howard has drafted O-line and D-line every draft he has been a part of, while other positions, particularly the defense, has suffered. Enough is enough. You have Juergens and you have Steen. Coach them up. Stop drafting O-line. You have Jordan Davis. Pay for a personal dietary assistant and then coach him up. And then I also said, do not draft D-line at all. Give Nolan Smith actual play time. Stop leaving your rookies to not develop because you keep paying and playing old veterans. Mm-hmm. Coach them up. And and I ended it with, it's beyond time Howard changes the game plan and it starts on Thursday. Draft a corner.
Yeah, man. And you know what's funny, Mark, is that hits a little close to home for me, because we don't ever decide to draft corners either. We don't like drafting DBs in general. Now while you guys draft D-line and O-line every year, what we do is we draft in the early rounds. We'll draft defensive players as far as the front seven goes. Mm-hmm. Or if we're not drafting front seven players, then we're drafting position players like running back and wide receiver. And it does not matter how good our current running backs and wide receivers are. We'll just draft a wide receiver in the second round. We'll draft a running back in the second round. And these are things that I would like to see stop. And I would love to see, like, now granted, this past draft, we drafted DBs. But we drafted a cornerback and we drafted a safety. But they weren't drafted in the first round. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have first round picks. We get it, whatever. We drafted one of our DBs in the second round, and then we drafted a kicker in the third round, Mark. We didn't draft the other DB to the fourth round. Excuse me, my bad. We drafted one of the DBs in the third round because we have multiple third round picks. But the point is this. We don't prioritize drafting DBs, and this is the best. This is the most that we've prioritized DBs. Is this past draft, and we did it in a weaker draft for DBs, and that's my issue. So, like, once in the Shanahan era have we drafted DBs in the first 3 rounds. So, and those guys barely saw the field last year. I don't think they're going to see the field that much this year either. So they're not guys that we drafted that we're saying, okay, we're inserting them into the lineup and we have them as our future starters. So we don't have future starters on our team as far as drafted DBs go. So I feel your pain a little bit there, Mark, but I think your pain is a little bit greater because, let's be honest, when you're talking about raw talent and exceptional physical capabilities, your team has that, and you're wasting it. And if you had the DBs that you're supposed to have, whether they're young or not, it would change the complete complexion of the team, and it would make it to where you guys would be the favorites, Super Bowl favorites every year, therefore coming out of the NFC. So,
all right. Real quick, I have a question for you. I had this thought today, and it caused me to look it up. And it seems like I'm not the only person with this thought recently. James Bradbury lost a step. And what caused me to have this thought in real life is because of something that I did in Madden. James Bradbury, he lost a step. He can't play outside corner anymore. He's not viable at that position anymore.
Absolutely not.
In the video game, I moved James Bradbury to safety. Eagles got rid of, but in the video game, I didn't get rid of Kevin Byard right away. So James Bradbury was just the backup safety. But in this scenario, Kevin Byard is gone, and Sidney Brown is currently hurt. Bradbury can play zone. Bradbury has high IQ. He has high awareness for what's going on the field. He simply does not have the legs to continue to do what he's been doing. Do you think that he is viable to be a real-life move to safety?
This is my thing. I think he's just better at zone than he is man. And if you're better at zone than you are man coverage, or if you lose the ability to play man coverage, then it's a natural thing to move a cornerback to safety. I do think he has what it takes to play safety. Now, will he be a great safety? I don't think so, but he'll be a serviceable one, Mark. There's players in the past, obviously, that have moved from cornerback to safety, but the most notable ones are the guys that were Hall of Fame level cornerbacks that then made the move to safety, right? So you think of Rod Woodson, right? You think of Charles Woodson. You think of these guys in the later years of their career moving to safety. But the reason why they moved to safety is one reason only. They can't play man coverage anymore. You can't leave them out there on the island anymore. And I feel like that should be a natural path for pretty much any above average cornerback that at least has the IQ and at least has some type of tackling ability. Like, you don't have to be a strong safety. You could go be a free safety and still have some type of worth to where it's extending your career for X amount of years. But right now, Bradbury is young enough, Mark, to where the move to safety, if you do it right now, he would be a good safety.
Right. All right. So yeah, that was just my thought, and I want the Eagles to draft a cornerback. And honestly, like they're saying, like if we stay pat or whatever, around that time, Kool-Aid McKinstry would be coming up. And honestly, I want Kool-Aid simply because his name is Kool-Aid.
Hey, yo, Mark, you already know my best friend. You know, rest in peace. My best friend. From
I thought I was your best friend. That's crazy.
You know, his name is Kool-Aid, man.
That's crazy. I thought I was your best friend.
Hey, Mark, you are my best friend.
But
I said best friend.
New information to me.
Hey, Mark. Hey, who is Marcus to you? Who is Marcus to you?
He is my other
crazy. That's crazy. Other best friend. Dad, thank you. Let's keep it buck. You know what I'm saying? Look, Christopher James, aka Kool-Aid. That was his name. Everybody called him Kool-Aid. It was for a reason, you know. Best Kool-Aid you'll ever have in your entire life, you know what I'm saying? So anybody that has the name Kool-Aid, Mark, they have my full support. And I'm with it. So I feel you. You said just because he got the name Kool-Aid, I rocks with that. I rock with it.
Nah, 100%, man. And honestly, rest in peace to your friend Chris.
Yeah.
I know that was a rough time for you as well. Chris says, what do you think about FSU? We prospect
wide receiver. I'm guessing wide receiver prospect.
Oh, okay. Wide receiver prospect Johnny Wilson, 6'7", that runs a 4.4.
Hey, I watched the tapes. All right, and after watching the tapes and watching to see what Steve Smith had to say about him, he's 6'7", but he don't play 6'7". He's 6'7", but he don't have the requisite wide receiver skills that he needs to be 6'7" and lightweight, Mark. I'm not off the top of my head. I can't tell you how much he weighs, but I can tell you this, Mark. The man is skinny. He's a skinny 6'7". So if you're a skinny 6'7" and you run a 4.4, then you better be Randy Moss, Mark.
Right.
Okay? You better be Randy Moss, because guess what? They jamming you at the line. Okay, they're going to. He's not a physical receiver. His route running needs help. Okay, and if your route running needs help, you better be fast. You can't be 4.4 fast, Mark. You got to be 4.2 fast. Okay. Now, granted, he is 6'7", and you say, "Oh well, I could just toss it up to him." But once again, I watched the film, and he doesn't do good with that scenario.
Why do you 6'7" and not do good with 50-50 balls?
I'm just trying to tell you what I seen on film. Steve Smith seen the same exact thing that I seen, and I'm trying to tell you right now, he is somebody that a team is going to take a flyer on him because of his metrics, because he's 6'7", because he runs a 4.40. Somebody is going to draft that man, and I honestly, Mark, I think he's a 4th or 5th round prospect. I believe he's going to get taken either in the 3rd or the 2nd round because of his metrics. All I'm saying is whoever takes him in the 2nd or 3rd round is going to be disappointed.
Well, speaking of, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad this was brought up, because speaking of disappointments, bam, draft bust from 2010, right here. Will Washington said he's 235, and listen. Chris said they said some of the same things about Metcalf when he came out. No, they didn't. They never said anything about Metcalf's 50-50 ball. Never said nothing. Never said that. They said what the things about Metcalf was his ability to route run, because his hips were tight. He had tight, really tight hips. And
yeah, let's be honest. We watched the combine replay. Man, them cone drills look terrible, Mark.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just like, okay, it's not as good as his ability to do everything else. No, they were below average. He had a below average near the bottom cone drill. So it wasn't just something that people were making up. Nah, it was something that you could see.
Yeah, and Chris, I'm gonna say this: one person that I do not if I disagree with him, if he says it, I'm gonna shut up. Steve Smith. When Steve Smith talk about these wide receivers, he's on point. I listen. He's 100% on point every single time.
Yeah,
every single time. Anyway, what? Oh, yeah, this draft bust John. All right, so, this shit is crazy. You see how I go to the page and it just reset me?
Yeah, that was wild. So you had it up, and as soon as you brought it up, that shit started loading up. I just watched it happen, man. But
I hate you, Facebook. I was on what I wanted to be on. You just gonna? All right, let me
look. I'm gonna tell you right now, Washington. I'm gonna tell you right now, 6'7", 235 is not a tight end.
Let's go back to this for now.
Being that tall and being 235 and there's not a lot of muscle involved does not make you a tight end. You absolutely cannot play tight end in the NFL. That's what I'm going to tell you. So nah, that's not. He's not playing tight end. All right. So we can scratch that. I want you to think about this. You think about guys like Jimmy Graham. You think about guys like Antonio Gates. You think about guys like Delaney Walker, right? The guys that are tall. Yeah, if the guys that are tall that play tight end, the guys that used to be basketball players that play tight end, and you look at them, and all of them are 250 and up. 250 and up, all right? You can't be 6'7" and 235. And expect to play tight end. You have to be a receiver. And the problem is his route running, his movement is terrible. He does not move well. And like I said, if you're going to be 6'7", yeah, they can toss the ball up to you, but now you got to fight for it. Like, he can't be taking a hit while you're going up for a ball. Like, you can't, like, you have to be able to do that. I hate to use Madden terms, Mark, but your catching traffic better be on point, Mark. You better be able to take a hit while you are going up there to get it. If you can't move,
100%.
You're not going to get separation. You better be George Pickens if you're going to be out here not being able to run routes and being underweight and all that stuff. So that's crazy. I see that bust list.
All right. So here's the bust list. Biggest bust since 2010. At number 1, this bust list has Trey Lance for the 2021.
Can't argue.
Pick number 3. In 2012, they got number 2, Trent Richardson.
I feel like it's an argument. You could put Trent Richardson.
Yeah, like he had at least one great year. I don't know. Like, he had at least one phenomenal year. I don't know if you can really put him there.
Trent Richardson was out of the league in 3 seasons.
I mean, yes, he was out of the league.
That's the part where I say he left the league so quickly.
Yeah,
like,
but
but
he did have a flash in the pan, though.
He had a flash in the pan, but at the same time, being Trent Richardson, being the running back that he was at Alabama, you could just say that Niners fucked up and they picked Trey Lance. Right. Trent Richardson was a great running back in college. Trent Richardson did show you something in his rookie season. That fall off has to be studied, Mark.
Yeah.
If he went from having a great season in his rookie season to then not being able to find 10-yard wide holes at the offensive line, at the line of scrimmage. I don't know what to tell you. So let's continue down the list, though.
They got number 3 in 2012, Justin Blackmon at pick number 5. Number 4, Clinton Farrell at pick number 4 in 2019. Justin Gilbert at pick number 5 and pick 8 in 2014. D. Milner, 2013, pick number 9 at number 6. Jake Locker, 2011, pick number 8.
I remember that Jake Locker pick. Never thought he was going to be anything. I don't understand why they drafted him. Continue.
At number 8, they got Josh Rosen in 2018, pick number 10. I kind of disagree with this because he was given a raw deal. He was given a coach that he was drafted by a team where the coach didn't want him, and the coach
never got a shot. He never got a fair shake.
He never got a fair shake.
He never got, even as a rookie with no vets behind him, he never got a full shake. He never got a fair shake. So I'm with you on that. And the second that it was like, okay, maybe a year or two, he'll get a fair shake.
No,
Kyle Kingsbury became the coach, and he had already previously said that he would take Kyler Murray. And then Josh Rosen went to Miami and played behind Ryan Tannehill. Like he never got a sorry about that. He never got a fair shake
at all. At number 9, John Ross, 2017, pick number 9. This one hurt my heart.
I can't lie. John Ross looked crazy in college, man. I remember them saying, "No, he got injury issues." Yeah, but other than that, like I was watching his highlights, Mark, and I just want to bring up a few things. He wasn't just fast. He wasn't just able to take the top off of a defense. I was watching him make the same catches that Tyreek Hill makes.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, he's a smaller receiver, but he's athletic enough to go up and get it. Like I seen red zone catches with him in the end zone where he's just out jumping somebody and going and getting the ball. Like I was absolutely of the thought process that they're like, barring injury, John Ross would be great. And then the times where he wasn't injured, he wasn't great. And all of a sudden he couldn't catch a ball. He couldn't catch a cold. So yes.
Yeah, no, and yeah, that was the biggest thing. The boy got into the NFL and forgot how to catch.
Yeah, it was wild. Never seen anything like it.
That hurt my heart, man. I had such high hopes for John Ross. At number 10, Kevin White, 2015, pick number 10.
Mark, I promise you, I told everybody that year. I can't remember the other wide receiver that came out in that draft, but there was another top tier wide receiver that came out in the draft, and it was just Kevin White and the other guy. And I said, Kevin White is so much better than him. Kevin White was a guy that was like 6'2", 6'3", big body, strong. He had good speed for a big guy. He had route running ability that was NFL ready. And his hands were phenomenal, Mark. Like I watched him in numerous situations catch balls where, catch passes to where he was covered, he was double teamed. He did everything in college, Mark, that signified he was going to be a great pro. And then he got injured his first season, and then so he was gone for the entire first season. And then when he actually started playing, because he got drafted by the Bears, when he actually started playing, the man couldn't get open to save his life, Mark. He was invisible on the field. You didn't even know he was there, and it was a strange thing. But Kevin White was, to me, he was one of the best wide receiver prospects. At that time, I would have said he was the best wide receiver prospect in a few years coming out of college. And he turned out to be, I'm talking about, if you look up his stats right now, I'm going to assume his first full season, he had like 11 catches. Like he was immediately worse than John Ross. So.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Here's an interesting fact, bro. I was a Villanova fan when they were winning winning championships, because I just was a fan of the coach and a fan of the players. I should be a fan of New York right now. Three of the players from the 2017 Villanova team is on New York.
Yeah, that's funny.
I should be a fan of New York.
They do have. Yeah, they got. Who is it? It's was it Brunson Hart and who's the other guy?
The white boy.
DiVincenzo, whatever.
Yeah, DiVincenzo.
Yeah. So you should be. And that was the Villanova team that crushed my heart, Mark. I'm sure you remember.
That was the Villanova team that won me the bracket.
Y'all don't understand how devastating this was to me, right? So and I have to say this. So going into this was the first year that the mid-majors this was the second year, that the mid-majors were killing everybody's brackets, okay? My bracket was so intact, right, that going into championship weekend, they had me in the 92nd or 93rd percentile, bro. I was in the tops. Like, out of the entire, CBS bracketology thing, I was ranked 22,800 something, bro. I was up there, Mark, okay? Bro, whole thing intact. My Elite 8 was only missing one team, okay? That was it. We get to the Final Four, we get to the championship. Obviously, the one team that's not supposed to be there that I didn't have up until the Final Four was Villanova. So I'm still in that top percentile going to the championship week. My team, the North Carolina Tar Heels, was who I had winning the championship. And everybody else, I feel like a lot of people felt confident about that. And of course, in the bracket that we did, and mind you, this is wild because in our fantasy groups, we didn't do the bracket like that, okay? We did the bracket that year, okay? And not only was I ranked nationally high, but in that fantasy group, I was basically leading it. And it was just me and Mark left, okay? Bro, Mark being from Philly, Villanova beating the Tar Heels, my team, and completely destroying my bracket, bro. Like,
no, but here's the funny thing. Like, everybody was out, and they was about to send Sean the money because they was just like, oh, okay, like, it's going to Sean. Like, they was just about to send him the money. Because they was like, nobody else could win. And then I looked again, and I was like, hold up. Nah. I was like, add this up. If Villanova wins, I could win the money. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, okay, we have to.
His percentage for his bracket. Now, mind you, I think my bracket was like at 83%, which is ridiculous considering the amount of mid-majors that won that year. This man's bracket was at like 36% or some shit like that. But if he won and I lost, it knocked like 50% points off of my shit, and then it put him up. It was like some weird math to where I would be below his percentage because of the way it would play out. Like, I would lose so much and he would gain so much that he would end up winning. Bro, that was crazy. And I'm not going to forget that, Mark, because I was like, this would only happen at the hands of you. That's the only way that this would ever happen, is at the hands of you. So I was upset about it.
Like, that was my favorite. 2017 is one of my favorite years ever, because I just want to point out to you guys, that was the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That was also the year that I won the fantasy championship in 2 leagues. I won it in our Happy Fun Time League, and I won it in our Madden League. I won the fantasy championship in 2 leagues, and then to turn around and win that bracket shit. It was just like, it was all wins all the way around. 2017 was a good year
and I want to be very clear about this, man. So the weekend before was the Final Four game. I was out for my birthday. My birthday is March 25th. The weekend before, I was out for my Final Four. I was out for the Final Four game or whatever, and or maybe it was Elite 8. I don't remember, but I do remember watching North Carolina at Dave & Buster's, pull out a victory, and it was one of those games where I was like, man, this is it, bro. We winning this year, and then fast forward to the championship game. And I'm not going to sit here and hold you, man. I was confident. I had, like, in my mind, there was an 80 to 90% chance that we was winning this game, man. And then it ends up being a close game. And then I'm like, oh man, this is wild. We still got this. It gets down to the last play of the game. It's everything that goes into it, Mark. It's how we lost, man. You mean to tell me that the game is tied? There's a Villanova player walking the ball up the court, and there's like, I think there's like 8 seconds left on the clock. They don't pick this dude up. And granted, he wasn't the best 3-point shooter on the team. It doesn't even matter. I don't even remember who it was. I just remember they pulled up from NBA range or a little bit further, and they pulled a shot before, like well before the clock expires. That shit, like he pulled up and it was like 3 seconds left in the game, bro. And I remember that shit, and I was like, you really not gonna pick him up? They just let him shoot it. He knocked it down. And, losing in that manner of fashion to where it's like, yo, you didn't challenge the shot. You didn't challenge the shot at all. You allowed him to walk up the court and then pull a three-pointer. I don't care how bad of a three-point shooter you think he is. You got to defend that. And that's the way that UNC lost that championship that year. I'm never going to – that image is burned into my skull, bro. He pulled up at the top of the key. It wasn't even like a secret or anything, man. I don't understand what happened. My team they just let me down in that last final moment, and it was just a wild thing to see, man. I didn't like it at all.
I loved it, but anyway,
of course you did, Mark.
But anyway, man, listen, guys. I want to go over this one last time. Thursday, we will be live for the draft, and not only that. Not only will we be live for the draft, but we will be playing a drinking game with you guys live during the draft. And the stipulations of the drinking game is anytime that we see certain things that happen during the draft, you have to drink. And so far, the things that we have down here is if a kicker is taken in the first round, period, that is 2 shots automatically. Like, everybody has to take 2 shots. Anytime that we see that the war room is up, when they pan to the war room after the pick and they're upset or they look visibly not excited for the pick, you have to take a shot. And for those that don't know, the war room is the people that get together to collectively decide on what pick the team is going to take.
Yes, it usually involves the GM, coach, maybe an assistant head coach, and some scouts or the head scout.
Right. And the next one is if there's a trade during the draft, take a shot. Anytime you see an overzealous girlfriend of someone like that is just a little bit too excited on the screen as if she got drafted today, you got to take a shot. You got to take a shot for every leftover player in the green room on day one.
Yeah.
And going to take a shot for elite QB comparisons. Anytime one of these QBs is compared to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes,
Peyton Manning,
Favre, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Take a shot. I like this one. Players that manhandle the commissioner, like when they catch the commissioner by surprise.
They lifting them up like a baby, you know what I'm saying? They doing that. They give him the ultra hard handshake. They go up for the handshake. He think he's getting a handshake. They get the aggressive, the super hug, the aggressive super hug. You tucked in? Yeah. The Key and Peele, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm in there, dog. I'm in there.
Yeah. Because we all we got.
Can't forget about that.
You can't forget about that. Yeah.
And then we got the disappointed draftee.
Oh, this is crazy. Stop. No, continue. You continue. I'm gonna say what I gotta say after that.
No, but the disappointed draftee is anytime that the draftee doesn't look like he's the most excited to go to the team that drafted him. All right. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. So I pulled somebody offline. He was in here earlier. He didn't say anything, but he's finally responded to me because I messaged him and asked him for suggestions for the draft drinking game, and I'm gonna have to just not add this to the list because this is outrageous. He said two things. He said, anytime they say a dude has a high motor. Look, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry, dog. You're not doing that. Look, man, ain't no way,
the cliche words, man.
No, like, and then he said, or something like that, and then he said, intangibles. Look, man, we trying to have a good time, okay? We not trying to end up in the ER or urgent care, getting our stomach pumped, bro. We're not trying to blow a 0.23, bro. We're not trying to get blackout drunk, okay? We're just trying to have a good time. So
all right. How about this?
Hey, he said, mind you, I haven't responded to him. He said, those aren't good. Let me cook. LOL. Hey, you were absolutely right. Those are terrible, dog.
Cliche word choices is a good one. Let's say anytime we hear after the third time, so after 3 times of them saying the cliche word choice, then we drink after that. So like we hear high motor 3 times, then if they say high motor for the 4th time, then we start drinking. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds a little bit more feasible. That sounds a lot more feasible because like the way he said it, I was like, high motor, bro. We're not doing that. We can't do that. You know what I mean? We're not gonna make it. We trying to. Hey, look, we still have a job to do here. It looks like we're having fun up here. You know what I'm saying? It looks like we're having a good time, but we're still trying to provide you a product here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't gonna be no product if we drink every single time they say high motor or intangibles.
Class act.
Class act, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what was what's the other? Scrappy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, look, hey, Scrappy, he's a scrappy guy, fights for yards. Like, nah, we not. Nah, we can't do that.
Nah, man, you got to, because that should be hilarious, bro. They say the same thing all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, man, I like that cliche word choices. I gotta scroll up because it was something that Chris said, and it looks like I didn't write it down. Oh, when they talk about Aaron Rodgers, if they talk about Aaron Rodgers' injury, that was one.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Mark, we would have to drink, man, because there's absolutely no reason at all to bring up Aaron Rodgers' injury, bro. But I got a strong feeling they're going to. Like the second that the Jets are on the board, they're going to mention it.
All right,
they're going to mention it, and I hate the fact that they're going to, Mark. They're not drafting a quarterback, so I don't understand why they would mention Aaron Rodgers, but they're going to.
Yeah. So look, that's the list, guys. That's the list that we got. Before we get out of here, hit that like button. What were you about to say?
Yeah, real quick. Although he said that, right? If you guys are new, you guys are not following us on Facebook, please follow us on Facebook. We are listed as the Eye Test Network on Facebook. Also, we have a sports talk group, Facebook group called TET Sports Talk. Please follow us there. We will be posting the drinking game rules for draft night on there. So if you guys are forgetting, you guys want to come back and replay this video, that's cool. But we will be posting the draft night drinking game rules on those 2 pages. Okay.
And then we're also going to talk about yeah, man. Subscribe on YouTube as well. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button and all that jazz, man. We appreciate you guys. And now I definitely want to get out of here because I want to catch this Clippers game as I drift off to the twilight. So actually, that sounds morbid.
That's crazy, dog. Hey, that sounds wild as hell, didn't it?
Let's use a better choice of words.
Drift off into the twilight is crazy, Mark. Look, man.
Let's use better choice of words. Drift off.
I just turned 40, boy. I'm not. Hey, look, Elizabeth, I am not coming. All right.
Drift off to sleep for the night. Just for the night, okay?
Yeah, just for the night. Okay, yeah. We need you to clarify that, Mark, because boy, that just sound like you was having a homecoming. It sounded like you was coming home, boy.
I got scared for myself for a second, bro. I was like, whoa, let me walk this back.
We got to get you the black background and put the doves flying behind you and shit, man. That's crazy.
I got scared for myself. Ooh.
Yeah, nah, you got me there, bro.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. And remember this, man. Suns is getting blown out right now. NFL.
What a surprise.
Suns is getting blown out right now. NBA is the WCW, and the NFL is the WWE. It's only entertainment, guys. Remember that. Don't invest too hard, and be easy. Peace.
Yep. Peace.